What's up, everyone? Ryan with the Driven Channel. I am back with another weekend review, and I'm actually sitting in a 2016 Mustang GT 5.0 provided by the good folks over at Pre-Owned of Columbia. I decided to take it to a big old car meet. Actually, I'm here at the Como Car Culture car meet. There will be a whole different video for that, so I'm not sure if it'll be before or after this video, but either way, keep an eye out for that because I'm going to be making a little event coverage of this meet that we're at. Anyway, I've got the top down. I am enjoying my day. We've been cruising around together with a bunch of my buddies, and I'm going to get some footage here. And later on today, after doing a little walk around and driving this thing a little bit more, I will talk to you a little bit more about what I think about this Mustang. In the meantime, enjoy the footage. So let's talk about how this thing drives. Mustangs are known to be kind of boulevard cruisers, and this one's no different. It feels super comfortable, drives nice down the road, but a lot of people don't consider that these things can be a little bit sporty. So I've taken it here to one of my top secret testing locations in the Columbia area to do a little twisty review here. We're coming up on some corners. I'm gonna take them, and we'll see how it does. Not bad at all. So Mustangs can corner, convertibles can corner. Now I don't know how well this would compare to a hardtop because I've not driven one, but if I get the chance to, then I can do a one-on-one type comparison. But I would say that I felt comfortable in those corners. 15-mile-an-hour corners. I did them within the speed limit, but still at a nice sporting pace. So I think this car handles well, rides well. I think it's a great car. Would I buy one? Maybe, but only because it's a convertible. Anyway, we'll get to some more footage here. All right, I'm back, and I'm gonna go over what I think about this Mustang. Basically, I've been driving it around this weekend, and I don't think I've had the top up a single time except for right now. As a matter of fact, let's fix that. Alright, so here's a fact. I have not spent time of any significance in a convertible car since I was a little kid. And I remember loving it as a little kid. And, I've been kind of feeling like a little kid this weekend driving around in this convertible. But so, number one feature of this car that I appreciate the most is the fact that it does have the convertible top. It goes down really quickly too, and I actually took it through a high-pressure car wash last night before the big meet that was today, and it didn't leak. So those are all of the most important benefits of any convertible ownership. So that has all of these. This has all of those. Anyway, so I wanted to go over a few of the other features that this particular car has, because it's actually pretty loaded. I think it has just about everything but like the full-on performance pack. So I'm going to start with, obviously I'm going to pull the old GoPro out here, and I'm going to go through the interior with you. I'm going to start with what's right in front of me. While I'm driving down the road, I'm holding on to this steering wheel. It is some kind of, it feels like leather wrapped or rubber wrapped or whatever it is textured. It feels nice. The steering wheel has lots of controls on it. This one's an automatic, so it does have the paddle shifters. And they feel actually just like the ones in my Volkswagen, so I'm right at home there. So Sorry, I keep clearing my throat, guys. I'm getting over a nasty cold. Anyway, so we've got voice commands for phone, for navigation, for all of those things. All of your buttons for the cruise controller right here. But the thing that I think is cool, and I'm going to set this up here so that we can see it a little bit better, but right now I've got it on the accelerometer. As you can see, you know, we've seen lateral G's of up to 0.90, accelerative G's of up to 0.73, which is pretty impressive for a car this size and weighs. So all the track apps are pretty cool. It does have line lock. No, I did not use it, but I have seen videos, and these things make some nasty burnouts. But yeah, you hold to initialize that. I believe you hold the brake pedal down real tight until it tells you to let off, and then you give it the gas, and it gives a big old smoke show. So we've seen plenty of Mustangs do burnouts, so we don't need to do that right now. It has a lap timer. It has, actually, if we go back here, driver assist. Oh yeah, I'm going to turn this off because I hate the engine auto off function on pretty much every car. What I do like is, and I mentioned this in the Mini Cooper videos, that you can change the color of your ambient light. So your ambient light can be, here, let's get in there. Oh, right. I can't adjust it to 8 times, but I did this last night, and I can change it to blue, purple, red, all of those things. I think that's cool, and you know, Ford, I think that that hats off to you for figuring out that people like to be able to change things and customize their cars, which I think is neat. So also, you can just go through your standard fuel trip, you know, all of this stuff as far as what you can do for you know, the different trips and the fuel economy and things like that. Things that I don't really care about, but I'm sure there's some Mustang owner out there that cares. But what I really think is cool as an enthusiast is this gauge mode right here. Now this allows me to monitor things that most of the time I could only monitor with some kind of a scan tool hooked up to the car. My favorite is the air-fuel ratio. So if you're a Mustang guy and you do a modification, let's say you do forced induction, and you want to make sure that you're not dipping, you know, below about 12 or so under heavy throttle with you know, some kind of forced induction, you have to actually have a gauge in this car, so it monitors that for you. So you can measure the cylinder head temperature, which is basically coolant temperature. If you just installed an aftermarket air intake, you can monitor and see if you're getting cooler air intake temps. You know, oil pressure, oil temperature, transmission oil temperature. These are things that a normal car does not give you access to. So I appreciate all of that. It also even gives you vacuum in inches as well. So that can help you if you're trying to diagnose a problem. So I appreciate all of those things. It's pretty cool to have that as just like a factory thing. Yes, the tire pressure light is on. It is about 2 pounds low on the left front and left rear tire. I'm not too concerned with that, but I will let them know at pre-owned so that they can get that fixed up for the next buyer. It does say revolutions per minute, which is kind of cool. I don't know, some might call that corny, but I do like the ground speed indicator, as if, you know, you're flying a Mustang, which you're not going to be flying a Mustang. Hopefully, if you're flying a Mustang, then I guess don't pay attention to this. Okay, what is next? So the navigation screen on this, every weekend I always make sure that I have an old iPhone 6. I always make sure that I get it synced up through the Bluetooth. And it seems like I run through varying degrees of difficulty when I'm doing that. And what I can tell you is the Ford Sync system, it was so slick and so easy that it just popped right on. It took me literally like 2 minutes to do the whole thing, and I didn't struggle at all. So much like the Mini that I did last weekend, it has all of these switches down here, only they do different things. This one will turn on hazards, which hopefully you won't ever have to use those. This one is simply just an on-off switch for the traction control, which also kudos for you to you, Ford, for allowing a full off option for the traction control. That is so nice. Most car companies don't allow you to ever spin the tires. Now, this one right here actually lets you change the steering feel independent of any other application. So if I want to, and I'm going to press this button, and I'm going to show you up here on the screen, hopefully you can see it both at the same time. When I press that, it lets you change the steering feel from sport to comfort to normal. Now, I've been keeping it in sport because I like a nice sharp steering car. But I like that because it allows you to change that completely independently without having to go into some other sub-screen and change that. So all of these things have the electric power steering racks, and these days electric power steering racks are no longer a naughty word. They've really figured out how to make them feel good. This button does a whole different thing. So if you press this mode button, I'm going to come back up here, go into drive mode. You have normal mode, you have sport plus mode, and then you have, oh my god, get out of the way, he's going to kill a crowd, with the track mode. So I haven't been using that too much because I don't want to, you know, murder anybody in a Mustang. That's not really my thing. Also, I guess if you're going to drive your car in the snow, you also have snow mode as well. So I've been pretty much just keeping it in normal mode. The transmission does have an option for sport mode, and it does, like I said, have the paddle shifters, which is pretty cool. So beyond that, this audio system is pretty cool. Pretty much everything goes through touchscreen. I like touchscreens. Some guys like to have lots of buttons. This does have buttons for things like seek and on, off, and then if you still listen to CDs, eject. But this one has the cooled seats, which if you've been watching my videos for a little while, guys, you know one of my favorite features in a car is cooled seats, and I use them every single time I get in one. It also has heated seats, but whatever, lots of cars have heated seats. So anyway, that's basically how I feel about all of this. I'm gonna pop the top back up here, and then I'm gonna head on over to my mom's house actually for dinner. So maybe I'll take her out for a little ride, but she doesn't like to be on camera, so you guys won't get to see that. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this review. I certainly enjoyed doing it, just like I always do. Anyway, we will see you guys on the next video.